My Life Between Lives story from Newton Train Institute practitioners.
I see a whole change in the thrust of searching for answers about who we are and why we're here. And I think it's wonderful, and I just hope the movement continues to expand.
Let us expand the universal consciousness together with a My Life Between Lives story presented by the Michael Newton Institute.
Welcome to My LBL Story. My name is Ikamananda. I am your host. Today we have special guest, Dr. Diana Paque. Diana is the Executive Director of the Michael Newton Institute since 2019. She has had a widely varied career ranging from librarianship to government leadership to academic administration. And currently, she is in private practice as a hypnotherapist, Reiki master, and a regressionist. Diana also serves as the editor of MNI's quarterly journal, Stories of the Afterlife. She says, becoming a Newton facilitator found her when she was ready. And for many of us, it takes many more adventures and years to settle into where we belong. And for her, it took much longer. A big warm welcome to Diana. Welcome to the show. What is the negative space in your understanding, and how did this separation come to be?
My sense is that we came to Earth and that the environment that we're in is conditioning our sense of separation. And that the form that we're in, our human form, is very isolating. That we are in bodies that seem to be separate from each other. That the way we perceive ourselves and perceive others is separate, and that this planet reinforces separation. And when souls experience themselves in other dimensions, what I've found with souls, is they can experience planets and environments that do not have the separation. So, for example, there was someone who described it like mushrooms, where there is something that's above the ground, but under the ground you have all of these myceli, the connections, that all the mushrooms under the ground are connected because they're all connected. So they have their unique identity that is above the ground, but they're all connected in this interwoven natural connection that supports communication, supports knowing what's happening in the planet. They're actually literally connected to the planet. That's a completely different description than how humans are and how this Earth runs. I've been on planets where the energy is an energy of healing. I've worked with healers who have been on planets where all communication is telepathic. And I remember the first one I went with to one of these planets is someone who's a yoga instructor, and she teaches Reiki, and she's very into connections to the physical body and the soul. And we were trying to describe the energy, and I said, is it like Reiki energy? And she goes, there is no Reiki healing here. We don't need this. There's a natural inclination of healing among all parts, because health is a natural state that all of us sustain. It's a value. And so we are always connected in a loving way to keep ourselves, the individuals in this community, healthy. And it doesn't require a thought. It simply is a state of being. Humans are, and this planet, do not have those dimensions. We are very separate, and that isolation causes distortion. If you look at what happens when a prisoner is put into solitary confinement, that they only have themselves to deal with, and they begin to turn into themselves, and they start engaging with themselves. And if they're there long enough, they can become really warped and really, really badly mentally disabled. And it's because of the isolation. So even as that's an extreme, we as individuals in these human bodies see ourselves as distinct individuals, separate from every other individual, and that our forms of connection are only partial connection, that we have physical contact, perhaps, but it's always us and someone else. It's not that we merge. And so we're in this human environment, we are never in a place of complete embracing of connection and joy and love. There's always separation. And so I think that is one of the greatest challenges of being on Earth, is that isolation, that separation, that is a natural aspect of this planet. And it's why we struggle. If all, I think about this from time to time, and I think about if all that we are to do and meant to do is to be able to be joyful and be loving and connect as love with the whole of all that is, if we are separated from that and moved into an environment that is separate, how do we create that joy? How can we be love and be joy? So there's always the challenge to be that. And how do we do that? And in an environment where that is not the dominant force, and there are all sorts of other forces going on, it's very easy to get caught up in the darkness, because the darkness then begins to create itself. And we come up against that all the time on this planet. And so for people to begin to awaken to being more than the darkness and search for more, so that they can live better, even in this lifetime, and live better and find there is more, and that we are more, and that we can be light. What a miracle. What an eye-opener. And I feel blessed that I was given that opportunity. And I feel blessed that I'm given the opportunity to help others. And that's what this work is about. As Michael learned, it's to help people in their lives on this planet that's hard. So here we are, years later, carrying this on this planet as it is now, with the souls that are here now, and the souls that are reaching out. There are a lot of souls now who carry an interest, who carry an understanding of their soul selves, who are light, and that we find them. If we are light, we find those who are light. And that's joyful too. So there's opportunities if you can move into your own light.
Thank you so much for your wonderful wisdom and sharing. I hope that helps our audience to understand the core of Michael Newton's teaching and the life between life therapy. And as our second World Conference is fast approaching, and do you have anything to share with us about the conference?
I'm very excited about our conference. We had a conference in 2017, and we had planned a conference in 2020, and then COVID happened and we couldn't hold one. This conference is about bringing us together as community to remember who we are individually and as the community, and to use this as a foundation to build to the future. And over the last year or so, we've been exploring ways that move beyond the foundation of Michael's teaching and bring this work present and can bring it forward. And so this conference is to help us with that. We are going to have programs that help bring new learning, new ways of teaching to people who trained a long time ago. So the conference has a program to have our current teachers talking about what students are learning now, about the core concepts that are that are the foundation of the work that we do. We are also engaging in looking at we have a program on the connection between art and what we do. How do we bring art into this work? How do we connect people to their true selves? What do we use? How do we support them? There are going to be several opportunities to share LBLs. And our research director, Ilsa, is going to have questions that we are going to explore in our LBL share that we can then use for our research projects. So I'm excited about having another opportunity for our members to share LBLs. A lot of people don't get that opportunity to share with each other. And then part of it is just to have fun and to explore, where do we go from here? Who are we as an organization? How do we grow? How do we rebuild the in-person connections that really help solidify the foundation of this work? It used to be we trained in person, and now we are moving back in that direction with a hybrid program. But for a while, we were only training online, and I think people really miss the human connection. So this is about bringing the human connection. The other thing that I'm very excited about, and that we will be announcing at the conference, is the release of our new book. So the Michael Newton Institute is publishing a book this year called Finding Purpose. And this book is due to be released around November 1st and will be available on Amazon approximately November 1st. And it is based on stories that have come from our journal, Stories of the Afterlife. And so it contains a number of stories that have been updated since they were published in the journal. And so we are publishing this book this year, and we have a whole new publishing arm of ourselves looking to the future of publishing more books and moving into other media. So this is really opening the door to approaching the public directly through books, through various media productions, through the work that you're doing. How do we reach people? And it's through sharing what we do and what we know. The conference is a really good opportunity for us to meet, to renew friendships, to make new ones, and to build for what's coming up as we expand into who we are becoming in the future and how we can support the people of this planet.
How exciting! Conference, a new book, and further collaboration to support each other, rising in light and love.
It should be a really wonderful conference. We also will be doing an online version of this for our members who are unable to come, that we'll be advertising soon. And then after the conference, we will be selling a an edited version to the public, so they will be able to see some of the work that we have done and understand how we learn and how we teach ourselves. I'm very excited about where we're going and all of the new wonderful energy that is a part of who we are now. And I thank you for being part of this too, because you've brought some energy that was not here before.
Well, we're here to help each other. I'm not doing that much. I'm just responding to whatever the calling is. So, yeah, here the body is having fun. Whatever we do, we make sure that we have joy and experience peace and this wonderful vibration as we come to be one. And you have shared a lot of jewels and diamonds, this wisdom, so beautiful. I wonder if you may have one final piece of advice to our audience.
Don't give up on yourself. My sense is that we come to find ourselves when we're ready. When we are open, things appear. The universe brings to us what we are ready for. And so there is always more opportunity. And there is always the opportunity to grow and know more about ourselves and know more about others. And if one is of the light and knows that you're a light being, then you're here with us on purpose. And we're all here now because we are meant to be. It's not random that we found each other. So I encourage individuals, people, our members, and anyone who is listening to this to have hope, to reach out, to connect. Because in connection, you will find more of yourself. You will find your light.
That's wonderful. Don't give up. And come
Exactly. You might be 80 years old and just starting to do this work. Or you may be 20 and say, oh, I'm so late doing this. I go, no, I'm working with a guy who's 84 and he's just starting. So there is always time. You're here to be the fullest expression of you. And it's really helpful to know who you are, to be your fullest self.
Thank you so much, Diane, for
Thank you.
sharing your divine wisdom. I'm full of joy just listening to your talking.
Thank you all, and I appreciate the opportunity to share about our institute, about our founder, Michael Newton, and about this wonderful work that we've been called to do. And I encourage anyone who is interested to reach out and to check out the Newton Institute's website, newtoninstitute.org, and see what we're offering. And if you're interested, find a facilitator. It's easy. We're all over the world. Learn more. Contact us. We're always happy to share more information.
What is the best way to contact you?
My website is sfbayregressions.com, or if you go to the Newton website, I am listed as one of the facilitators, and that may be the easiest way if they don't remember my direct website. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity to spend some time with you.
It is my absolute pleasure to learn more about you as the executive director.
You're bringing a different energy than was here before, and that is so good. We so needed you. I love the way that you're approaching this. It's this work. It needed you, and here you are. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I don't see my own difference and how I'm different to others. I don't know. I'm just being me. So, yeah.
I know. I hear that. I'm just being me, and yet you bring you. You're of a different generation than I am. So how you see the world is different than the way I see the world, simply because of age. And you are from a different part of the world than I am. So we interpret things differently through our own cultural filters. And how you approach technology and how you approach media is very different because it's something that is really known to you. And I'm of a generation that has had to learn this rather than growing up with it. So we need all of us.
True. Everybody brings different color into, the story, so make it so wonderful and playful and colorful.
Thank you. I really appreciate you wanting to interview me.
We're helping each other to do the beautiful work, and that perhaps comes to the end of our conversation. Thank you again for coming to the show. We appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.
To the audience, thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for the other 3 episodes with Dr. Diana. To contact Diana, please visit her website www.sfbayregressions.com. Please also do not forget our upcoming 2nd World Conference and the release of recording and the new book, Finding Purpose.